after you bought an auto programmer, you will need to understand how many units per hour that auto programmer can provide. The unit per hour data provided by the supplier typically is only the max unit per hour. So the max unit per hour calculated by the auto programmer provider is that it will consider the machine pick and place and movement time only. It does not consider any the programming time or testing time. So that means that the machine will pick the device, okay, from the tape or from the tray, and then move the device into a programmer, and then pick the device from the programmer again, and then move back to the tape machine or to the tray loader. So it does not include any processing time. So this is the max unit per hour. So the real programming unit per hour can only be less, cannot be more. And the real unit per hour typically depends on three factors. So number one, the number of programmers in the auto handler. And number two is the number of socket adapters in the programmer. So sometimes the programmer can accommodate 8 sockets, but oftentimes, if the programming time is very little, a few seconds only, that oftentimes the customer it's not required to put all sockets onto the programmer. And number three is, of course, the programming time. So whether the device programming time is a few seconds or a few minutes. And these three factors are the three main factors impacting the unit per hour. So I'll give some examples how to calculate a real unit per hour. So the way we calculate real unit per hour, we use a term we call the pick and place programmer cycle time. That means the nozzle, okay, whatever you have, 4 nozzle or 2 nozzle or 1 nozzle, the nozzle will pick the device, okay, and put into the programmer. If the programmer has 8 sockets, so you will pick 8 devices, okay, and put these 8 devices into the programmer. So once this is done, the nozzle will pick the 8 devices from the programmer again and put back to the taping machine or tray. So the time it takes to do that one cycle, so we call it pick and place programmer cycle time. So if the programmer cycle time for one programmer, 8 sockets, if it is 9 seconds, for example, so 9 seconds to pick and place 8 chips. So that means that 1 hour, that auto handler can process 400 cycles. Yeah, so we use 3,600 divided by 9 seconds. That is 400 cycles. So each cycle we can process 8 chips. So the total unit per hour is 3,200 chips. That means that if the programming time is less than 9 seconds, okay, that machine can output 3,200 chips per hour. Okay, what if the programming time is less than 9 seconds? Then you can add a second programmer and third programmer. So if you have one programmer, the cycle time is 9 seconds, then 2 programmer, you can understand cycle time is 18 seconds. 18 seconds. So that means that if the programming time is less than 18 seconds, the 2 programmer, the sockets are full. So you have 16 sockets. That machine can still keep close to 3,200 units per hour. The only factor is that when you add more programmers, okay, the movement needs to go further. That impact is very minimum. So typically the impact is about less than roughly about 5%. So that means that you can use the 3,200 times 95% as the new unit per hour. So if you have 3 programmer, 4 programmer, 6 programmer, you can use this as the rough calculation. So I just give one example of the DediProg DP3000 is able to accommodate 6 programmers, and 1 programmer, it can output 16 flash memories with the programmer cycle time 18 seconds. 18 seconds. So with the methodology I mentioned just previously, 18 seconds, okay, times 6, so the total is 108 seconds. So if we put the 6 programmers, the total cycle time, 6 programmer cycle time is 108 seconds without idling, machine idling. So any chip, if the programming time is less than 108 seconds, programmed by DediProg DP3000, the unit per hour can still maintain close to 3,200 unit per hour. But I don't mention 3,200 is because that when you add a second programmer, third programmer, fourth programmer, and then you need to multiply the reduction factor a little bit. So that is the rough calculation when you are calculating the real unit per hour in the real situation. Thank you.